Okay, so today we've got kind of a fun one. It's a fascinating test we stumbled upon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's ChatGPT 5 versus the riddles from Perfora, from Fort Boyard.
Ah, the classic. That sounds intriguing.
Exactly. And the results, well, they might surprise you, or maybe not.
Yeah.
It's all discussed over on a podcast de Philippe, and it gives us a great snapshot of what's happening with AI right now.
Okay, I'm hooked.
All right, so let's dive into this challenge. It pits, the very latest AI against those really tricky, sometimes poetic riddles.
Perforas, yeah. He doesn't make it easy.
Not at all. And we're using this clash, really, to unpack what's going on with AI's verbal smarts. How well does it actually understand language? How does it reason? And where does it still mess up?
Right, because while pitting AI against game show riddles sounds a bit lighthearted, it's actually a pretty clever way to probe deeper questions.
How so?
Well, it gets at that core issue. Are these things just like super advanced parrots mimicking language they've seen, or is there genuine understanding happening?
Like actual comprehension.
Exactly. Are we inching closer to, artificial general intelligence, or are there still hard limits? This Fort Boyard test, it kind of gives us some clues.
Okay, so let's set the stage. The article we're digging into, it's by Philippe Berry. He took OpenAI's newest model, GPT-5.
Which just came out August 2025, right?
That's the one. And he threw 10 Perfora's riddles at it. The idea was to test its verbal intelligence, understanding, logic, making connections, general knowledge. Basically, could it outsmart the old guy in the tower?
And the AI apparently came out swinging.
Oh, yeah. The article mentions GPT-5 had this really confident, almost boastful tone right at the start. It apparently said something like, go on, bring it, I'm hot like a tiger ready to steal your boyards.
Haha, seriously, it said that.
Apparently so. And it even promised 0 looking at the web we play in pure brain mode. So basically, no cheating, all internal knowledge.
Wow, okay. That's some confidence, like it's trying to psych out Perforas.
Kind of, yeah. A very human thing to do. Now, about the riddles, this is important. They specifically picked ones from the summer 2025 season of the show.
Ah, trying to make sure they weren't in the training data.
Exactly. To avoid it just, recalling answers it had already seen.
That makes sense. But it's worth remembering that even if the exact riddles were new, these models have likely ingested tons of stuff from fan sites, like Fan Fort Boyard, best of lists, common riddle types.
But the patterns might be familiar even if the specifics aren't.
Precisely. It probably knows the style of riddle, the common tricks, so it's maybe not completely new territory, even with 2025 riddles. It blurs the line between problem solving and pattern recognition.
That's a really good point. Okay, so let's get into round 1, the rapid mode challenge. What exactly does rapid mode mean here?
Rapid mode is basically GPT-5 doing what it usually does, just faster. It's predicting the next most likely word or answer based on the massive amount of text it's learned. Think text completion on steroids.
So speed and probability.
Pretty much. It's quick pattern matching, and the results were, well, a bit of a mixed bag, some good hits, some surprising misses.
Okay, walk us through some examples. Where did it shine?
Well, it did well on some straightforward ones. Riddle 1, the clues were like round shape, reward, military insignia. It got medal. Pretty logical connection.
Okay, makes sense.
Riddle 3 mentioned dates and cocoa. It correctly guessed palm tree, solid association. And there were others about a chant, glasses, an ace from cards, a river delta. Those seemed pretty direct. And it nailed them. No obvious traps.
So it handles clear associations okay. But where did it stumble in this fast mode?
Ah, this is where it gets interesting. Riddle 2, the clues hinted at lots of pieces, battles, a trapped king. GPT-5 guessed pawns.
Pawns, but the answer is chess.
Right,
After.
exactly. And the AI apparently even analyzed its own mistake later, saying something like it got too zoomed in on just the pawns, the numerous part, and missed the bigger picture of the whole game.
Fascinating. It can critique itself. What about Riddle 4? That one sounded complicated. Absent winter, middle of spring, heart of summer, look towards the O in autumn.
Yeah, that was a classic pair 4 trick. GPT-5 went with sunset, which is wrong.
So what was the trap?
The trap was the O. GPT-5 interpreted O as ost, west, like the direction the sun sets. But the riddle meant the literal letter O inside the French word for autumn, autumne. The answer is the letter T right next to it.
Oh, wow. That's subtle.
Very. And the AI explained it fell into confirmation bias. It got an idea early on Sunset and then tried to force the later clues to fit, even when they didn't quite match. It prioritized making a story over checking the details. Sounds pretty human, isn't it?
Very human. So rushing leads to assumptions.
Yeah.
The article said Riddle 7 was the real faceplant.
Oh, absolutely. The clues were about a little used name found in Marcel Aimé's work, clever, delivering parchments, really specific stuff. GPT-5 tried guesses like Harold, Mercury, Hermes, even Fox.
None of those fit Fort Boyard.
Right. Even with a hint about the show, it was stumped. It ended up having to, well, cheat and look up the answer. Pass Mirai, the character who guides contestants, the article called it a red card, a total fail.
Ouch. That's a big miss. And Riddle 10, any issues there?
Riddle 10, clues like acrimonious, turbulent, don't ingest, mortal. GPT-5 said plague. The correct answer was poison.
Ah, close but not quite. Why the mistake?
Seems like a grammatical slip. The riddle required a masculine noun in French, and plague, la peste, is feminine, while poison, le poison, is masculine. It missed that detail.
Okay, so round 1 wrap-up.
Yeah.
6 out of 10 in rapid mode. That's respectable.
Yeah, it's about what human contestants often get, but slightly worse than the previous model, GPT-4o, which apparently got 7 out of 10, and Google's Gemini usually gets 5 to 7. So fast mode wasn't a blowout win for the AI.
Right. Decent, but not superhuman yet. But then came reflection mode.
Exactly. And this is a big deal. Tech companies are really pushing models now that are optimized for reasoning. It's not just about spitting out the next word.
It's about thinking things through.
Sort of. Handling multiple steps, applying rules or patterns it's learned. It's a slower, more deliberate process. The article calls it reflection mode.
And did giving GPT-5 this extra thinking time make a difference?
A huge difference. They fed it all 10 riddles at once, deactivated its memory, and let it run. It took about 4.5 minutes.
The score.
It jumped from 6 to 8 out of 10.
Wow. So 2 more correct answers. Which ones did it figure out?
Most notably, it cracked riddle 4, the tricky letter T, one that it missed before.
How did it explain getting it right this time? Did it show its work?
It did, and it's quite insightful. It described a step-by-step process. First, read the whole riddle, understand it's about letters and seasons. Then check spring, find the T in the middle, check summer, same pattern. Then for autumn, it understood scruterverse la O meant look near the letter O in the word automy, which led it straight to the T.
So it built up the logic piece by piece.
Exactly. It called it cumulative coherence, using each clue to build on the last, not just jumping to conclusions like in rapid mode.
That's a much more robust process. Okay, so it got the T, but it still only got 8 out of 10. Which one did it still miss?
Still riddle 7, pass Mirai. Even in reflection mode, it's stuck with its guess of Hermes.
And this is where the hallucination thing happens.
This is where it gets really weird, yeah. To justify its Hermes answer, GPT-5 basically invented a connection. It claimed there was a character called Hermes le facteur, Hermes the postman in Marcel Aimé's stories, Conte du chat pêché.
But there isn't.
Nope. Pure fabrication. It just made it up to make its wrong answer seem plausible.
That's kind of unsettling. Did it admit it?
Amazingly, yes. When challenged, it basically said, yeah, that was a pure invention on my part. It explained it embroidered the facts to force a connection between Hermes, the messenger god, and the Marcel Aimé clue.
Why would it do that? Just guess.
It explained that, in the moment, its associations are running so strongly that it believes the fabrication is true. Its training prioritizes creating a fluent, plausible-sounding answer over simply saying, I don't know. It confessed it values coherence over factual accuracy sometimes.
So it's designed to sound confident even when it's completely wrong and making things up?
Pretty much. It's a known issue with large language models. They can generate very convincing nonsense. It highlights why you can't just blindly trust everything they output, right? You still need critical thinking.
Absolutely. Okay, so reflection mode. Better reasoning, but still prone to weird mistakes and even fabricating things. But the test didn't end there, did it? They brought out the big guns.
Right. The article then looked at the really high-end versions, often the ones you pay for, designed specifically for deep think or pro-level reasoning.
And how did they do? Did anyone finally conquer Perforaz completely?
Yes. Victory at last. Gemini Deep Think, Google's top model, apparently took 5 minutes, doing what they call parallel thinking, exploring lots of possibilities at once, and boom, 10 out of 10.
Perfect score.
B.
Did it explain Pasmerad correctly?
It did. It correctly linked the character both to the Marcel Aimé novel and his role in the Fort Boyard show. No hallucinations, just the right context.
Impressive. What about ChatGPT's paid version?
ChatGPT Pro, the expensive one, at $200 a month, also got a perfect 10 out of 10. Took it longer, about 10 minutes, but it got there cleanly, without making stuff up.
And Elon Musk's AI.
Yeah, surprisingly, even Grok, the free version from XAI, managed a perfect 10 out of 10, and it was fast under 3 minutes.
Wow. So the top-tier AIs can solve these complex, culturally specific riddles perfectly. But it takes these advanced, often costly, versions.
It seems that way. Achieving that level of nuanced understanding and reasoning often requires more computational power, more complex processing. It's not necessarily something the standard free versions can consistently do yet.
Which raises questions about accessibility and, the energy cost of running these superpowered models.
Definitely. And that level of performance isn't free in any sense.
So bringing in an expert view, the article mentions Francois Chalet. He works on AI reasoning, created the ARC-AGI test. What was his perspective on all this? Was he blown away by the 10-10 scores?
Not entirely. His take is more nuanced. He sees these Fort Boyard riddles as being mostly about memorization.
Memorization. How so?
Well, he thinks the AI is either recalling direct answers it's seen somewhere, or it's recognizing common riddle structures like templates from its training data. He argues that to really test AI's ability to adapt and reason like a human, you need truly novel problems, things it absolutely hasn't seen before, more unique, more creative puzzles.
Does he give an example?
He mentions the classic riddle about the father and son in a car crash. The father dies, the son goes to the hospital, the surgeon says, "I can't operate, he's my son."
Ah, the surgeon is the mother.
Right. Chalet points out that while basic AIs used to fail that, the better ones now get it. But more importantly, they can adapt if you change the scenario, like if the father was the one injured, the surgeon could be the grandmother or grandfather. It's about adapting the logic, not just knowing the one answer.
So for Cholet, it's less about the score and more about how the AI solves it, and if it shows genuine flexibility when faced with something new.
Exactly. He actually finds the whole debate about whether AI has true understanding a bit pointless or specious, as he put it. What really matters, he says, is simply what they are capable of doing. What are their actual abilities?
And clearly, as this test shows, what they're capable of doing is increasing dramatically.
Right.
Even if it's not human understanding, the capabilities are impressive and expanding fast.
No doubt about it. The goalposts are constantly moving.
So wrapping this up, we've gone from GPT-5 making some very human-like errors in rapid mode to improving with reflection to these powerhouse models achieving perfection, but sometimes with strange side effects like hallucinations. It's quite a journey.
It really shows the state of play, incredible progress alongside these persistent quirks and limitations. And it leaves you thinking.
What's that?
Well, if AI can now master the wordplay and cultural nuances of Père Faraz, even if it takes the high-end versions, what aspects of human thinking are truly left that AI can't touch? And how does this change how we should interact with these systems going forward? It's a big question.
A very big question indeed. That's it for this deep dive. We really hope you enjoyed digging into this AI versus riddles showdown. It's a fascinating glimpse into where things stand.
Yeah, and thanks again to the source for this, Le Podcast de Philippe. If you're interested in these kinds of cutting-edge AI discussions, definitely give them a listen.
Absolutely. And hey, a quick ask from us. We're getting really close to 1,000 subscribers here. Your support genuinely helps us keep making these deep dives, so if you haven't already, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Thanks for listening.